Hey, what's going on, everybody? NGS back again for another video. First things first, I want to thank everybody out there who took the time to watch Vlog 100. I saw a lot of great comments of everybody enjoying it, and I just want to say this right now. Don't want to get too much into it, but if it was as much fun for you to watch it as it was for me editing it, because going through 3-4 years of video content on this channel was just a blast to see the evolution of Neo, as you would say, picking and choosing the best moments, the derpiest moments of my YouTube career portfolio, whatever you want to say. It was just awesome. So I'm glad a lot of you guys had fun with that. And for those who are expecting more vlogs, I can happily say that the vlogs will resume starting tomorrow with Vlog 101. I'm going to be going over the usual quid pro quo. But today what I want to talk about is keep this video DC-centric. This stuff is not really news per se. This is stuff that has been known for a while now, but my subscribers have wanted to, gauge my thoughts, my interests, what I think about it. So today we're going to talk about all things DC Universe, DC Nation. First on the agenda, Injustice Gods Among Us. The game came out yesterday. Did I pick it up? Hey, it's a fighting game. You know me. Am I going to pick up a fighting game day one, week one, month one? Now, don't get me wrong. This is nothing towards Injustice, but this is sort of my love-hate relationship when it comes to fighters. You guys know I'm not a competitive player. You guys know I'm not an active player. You guys know I'm damn near casual when it comes to fighting games. The amount of time and effort that I would put into a fighting game as opposed to any other genre, it's minuscule. You know what I'm saying? I'd play a fighting game for one weekend, not touch it for like 2-3 months, and go back into it for another weekend, and so on and so forth. That's just how I am with fighters. Out of the few fighting game series I do play, like Tekken, Mortal Kombat, I have nothing against Injustice Gods Among Us. NetherRealm Studios, the developers behind MK11, MK9, whatever year, whatever number entry you want to put for the game. I really enjoyed that game. However, after playing the Injustice demo, there were a couple of things that I felt they needed to be ironed out, definitely with the controls and, how the characters functioned, that I believe a patch will address those issues, because from what I've been hearing in some of the early thoughts of the game, they haven't addressed those issues. So whenever they release those in a patch, N/or price drop, N/or the inevitable Ultimate Edition, I will pick up Injustice Gods Among Us. But that's just me. If you've picked up Injustice Gods Among Us across PS3, Xbox 360, Wii U, oh, I feel bad for the people who picked it up on Wii U. Comment down below in the comment section, what are your thoughts on the game? How do you feel about it? Who's the most overpowered character? Who is broken? You know what? I bet it's Kratos. I bet it's Kratos. How much do you want to bet they're going to force in Kratos into that game and he will just 1v1 the DC Universe? Come at me, Superman. 1v1. No scope. Just pistols. Let's do it, bro. So, now that that's out of the way, let's talk about another video game that has relations to the DC Universe. Batman Arkham Origins. Now we can all just shut up, sit down, because we got a release date. We got a cover. Warner Brothers did confirm that Rocksteady has little to no involvement in this title. Primary development is being handled by one of their internal studios, WBG Montreal, Warner Brothers Games Montreal. With some of the things that they have released for the game, as we all suggested, it is a prequel. Now, it's not going to be the prequel / Silver Age of Comics thing that people were expecting, how it would be a lot more comedic and goofy, something more along the lines of a downloadable title, you get what I'm saying? This is still keeping with the main tone that was introduced in the other Arkham games. As far as the story is confirmed, like I said, it is a prequel, and they are taking cues and inspirations and nods from Batman Year One and Batman Legends of the Dark Knight. This will sort of be more of a Year 2 thing. It's not going to be Batman in his early days when he's just learning to be the Batman. But on the opposite end, it's not going to be him as the Cape Crusader, the world's greatest detective as we know him. Speaking of the world's greatest detective, the world's greatest detective in everything but the Nolan movies. Now, don't get me wrong. I love the Nolan movies. Well, 2 out of 3. But why is it in those movies Batman ain't showing any of his detective prowess? It's like him building the gadgets. We don't see that. It's all regulated to Morgan Freeman, Lucius Fox, and with his intellect, like we see it like once, twice, but he's always asking people for things. It's like, where are they? Where is Dent? Where is the detonator? World's greatest detective, my ass. In terms of new things that they are introducing to the game, they did confirm that there are going to be new gadgets. You are going to be able to summon the Batwing, which I can pretty much think that that's going to be used for fast traveling. I doubt you're going to be able to pilot it as the player and go around other places. or jump into the Batmobile. As awesome as that would be, I think that's not really the goal they're going for. But in terms of improvements to the combat system, they did say they're not going to go out of their way to really change it much. They're just going to be refining it and then having it work with more of the gadgets. So, you know, it's what we can expect here. But it is going to be great to be going into Gotham City, and you're going to be able to do side missions for people, and these side missions will give you experience points, and you can, of course, upgrade them as you can in any other game. So yeah, I guess you could say it's more Arkham, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. And to touch on the whole Rocksteady not developing the game, I can totally see where both sides of the spectrum are coming from. This is really a mixed bag in terms of how people are receiving it. On one side of the spectrum, you got a lot of people who are completely writing the game off, not going to give it a chance because Rocksteady's not handling it. I can totally get that. Because when you have this developer come out of nowhere and they just hit it out of the park with this entry, and they make a sequel, a follow-up that is just as good, if not better, you kind of get safe with them. You want them to handle every single game that comes from this license, or in some cases, create a game for another character, Superman maybe. But I can see where the other people are coming from saying you got to give it a chance, because look at the information they've given us. However small it may be, there is still a lot of stuff to get interested on. And I gotta definitely say I'm in the middle in this situation. I'm not gonna write off Batman Arkham Origins. I personally think, from what I've seen with such little information, I think at the very least it's gonna be a decent game. It's not gonna be bad, it's not gonna be horrible, but at the same time, I'm not gonna say it's gonna be amazing, OMG awesome, game of the year right here. We'll just have to wait and see what they're gonna be doing on there. Villains. They did confirm that Penguin's gonna be in the game. Can't even speak right now. Black Mask, and the appearance of the assassin, Deathstroke. So yeah, that's going to be awesome. We'll just have to see what the future holds for Batman Arkham Origins. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, you guys remember a while back I did a video giving my brief thoughts on the Justice League movie, and how I was saying I really wasn't looking forward to it. And, I got called all the names in the book. Oh, you're a Marvel fanboy. Oh, you're just a hater. Oh, why don't you give this a chance? You just love the Avengers. And even when I lay out concrete proof information of things that are not going to help this movie that Warner Brothers is doing, everyone's like, oh, you just got to wait 2015. Oh, man. So apparently the Justice League movie has been sent back into development hell for the time being. And I just gotta say, you people really expected any less? Really? Really? Okay, first things first, let me get this straight. Warner Brothers has not created a good superhero movie in a very, very long time. The only reason the Dark Knight trilogy was as good as it was because of Nolan and his team. Warner Brothers, the fuck are they? What are they doing here? You can see the difference in quality from something like Batman Begins, The Dark Knight. Hell, even The Dark Knight Rises over Green Lantern. And it's like people are getting hyped up over this Justice League movie, and you could obviously tell that they are trying to rush this thing out to meet the demands of the market, because they see that Marvel is being all successful with their movies, and they're trying to replicate the same thing. Now, I'm not saying that DC shouldn't have ever done a Justice League movie. They shouldn't have ever done, individual movies that lead up to a build-up. I'm just saying they're going about it all the wrong way. They end off on the heels of the Dark Knight trilogy. Batman's story is over there. And then they got Man of Steel coming out the following year. And then they have the Justice League movie coming out 2 years after Man of Steel. It's just like, really? What about all these other heroes? We didn't hear anything about Wonder Woman, Flash, the Martian Manhunter. We didn't hear anything about those guys. Well, what's up with Green Arrow? What the heck is happening, DC? People were claiming that they were going to do like a reverse MCU build-up where they're going to have this and bring in the characters and then establish the characters in their own respective movies afterwards. What? Okay, so first things first, the reason why the Avengers worked so well is because it was a build-up movie. It was a finale to all the things that were happening in those 5 movies or whatever. With the Justice League movie, if we're going to say it's going to be 2 hours, maybe 2.5 hours, you're going to have to spend a pretty sizable amount of time introducing the main core members of the Justice League and how they form together. It was never going to work out the way DC was trying to push it. Seriously, and with the inclusion of Darkseid, oh, Good freaking Lord. No. No. So the fact that this thing is scrapped for the time being, the fact that Christopher Nolan isn't attached to it, which I told people from the beginning, Nolan is not fit for this kind of movie. Nolan's great when he's doing his own thing, but when he's trying to work with this, it's like, no. Especially if he's trying to ground them in the Nolanism, realism sort of thing. It was never going to work. It seriously wasn't. As good as Nolan as a director, he's just, the Justice League in him does not fit. It seriously doesn't. It's like, heck, even with the Man of Steel, with the amount of times people are saying that, oh, the Man of Steel is going to be great because Christopher Nolan came out like 30 freaking times and said, oh, no, guys, you don't give me all the credit here. Zack Snyder, everything that's good about this movie is about Zack Snyder. The tone, the feeling, the essence, it's all him. Nah, man, it's all you. It's all you. And I see Nolan's just sitting there like, yeah, people. But honestly, I got to say this is a good thing for the Justice League. Don't get me wrong, I ain't hating on the Justice League at all. I'm just saying you gotta think realistic here. You gotta just think about it. Think about it. They were gonna put this Man of Steel movie, and like, how fast would they have to start production on the Justice League film? We already know Man of Steel's probably gonna get a sequel. So what about all the other movies? What, you're gonna do 2 Superman movies and then lead into freaking the Justice League in the summer? Man of Steel comes out March. We're gonna put out Justice League in June. What? But come on, people. Come on. This is a good thing for the Justice League movie in my eyes. If DC's going to take the time to find competent writers, competent actors, and fit it within a certain amount of time, a certain time frame, they can get this shit rolling. But no. At the very least, what we would have gotten is a mediocre Justice League movie. And do y'all really want that? With the amount of people, the DC fans, okay, I'm going to say this right now, DC fans, I know there is a bit of salt going on because you saw how successful Marvel was with the Avengers. And don't get me wrong, there are people who are butthurt and ignorant about the Justice League. They're just saying, oh, Avengers are better than the Justice League. And I'm just like, what? But listen, if you want the best for the Justice League to show up all the snooty people who are just fans of the Avengers because of the movies, you want a good movie. So don't keep saying you want this shit, because if this thing comes out and it bombs, who's winning? The Marvel guys win. We don't win jack shit, man. We seriously don't. Every single time Marvel comes out with a new movie that is not bad for you, you could enjoy it as well. I enjoy everything. Why? Because I have the ability to. But seriously, every single time that they come out with, like, yesterday's Man of Steel trailer, for example, it's like you see the trailer for the movie, and already in the comments people are like, oh snap, Marvel ain't got nothing on this. And Marvel has Iron Man 3 and Thor 2 coming out this year. And I'm like, really? Really? And next year they got freaking Spider-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, Captain America 2. What do DC got? I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't. But seriously, I'm glad this thing is getting delayed for the time being. I pray to God Warner Brothers does not activate this thing all over again and say, oh, it's still coming out 2015, fall 2015, experience the Justice League. No. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got to say on Batman Arkham Origins, Injustice Gods Among Us, and the Justice League film. Oh, man. I'm sorry, I gotta keep laughing. I just seen those comments. Man, Marvel ain't got nothing on this. It's just crazy. And hell, they even got the Wolverine coming out this year. That's still technically Marvel, so anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. I'm NGS signing out, and I will see you tomorrow for vlog number 101. Catch you later.